Imagine living with someone for 10 years, thinking you knew every heartbeat, every secret, until one phone call turns your entire world upside down. That's what happened to me. And when I finally discovered who my wife really was, I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I planned my revenge with silence sharper than any blade. My name is Ryan. For years, I thought my wife, Lily, was the perfect partner. Kind, loyal, caring, and my biggest supporter. We met in college, built a life together, bought a house, and talked about starting a family soon. She worked as a marketing consultant, always on her laptop, always busy with clients. I believed her completely. But lately, something had changed. She started working late, a lot. Her phone was always face down, notifications off. Whenever I entered the room, she'd minimize her screen like a guilty teenager. When I asked, she'd laugh it off, saying I was being paranoid. But one night, while she showered, her phone buzzed. I glanced at it just once. The message read, "Can't wait to see you again. Last night was perfect." My heart sank. I felt the blood drain from my face. Still, I didn't confront her. Instead, I decided to find out the truth the smart way. I hired a private detective. His name was James, a quiet, observant man who'd seen it all. When I told him what was happening, he said calmly, "You'll have your answers soon. But remember, truth hurts more than lies ever could." For 2 weeks, I lived in quiet agony. Lily acted perfectly normal, cooked dinner, smiled, kissed me goodnight, while the detective followed her every move. Each day, I wanted to believe he'd come back saying she was innocent. But deep down, I already knew. Then came the night James called. "You might want to sit down for this," he said. My hands shook as I answered. He'd followed her to a luxury hotel downtown. She checked in at 7 p.m., not with a client, but with her boss, photos, timestamps, everything. And it wasn't a one-time thing. She'd been meeting him for months, expensive dinners, weekends away, even holidays where she told me she was attending seminars. The next morning, James handed me the full report. Photos, chat logs, even recordings. But what broke me wasn't the cheating. It was realizing she'd been using my money to fund her double life. Every client trip I'd paid for. Every dress, every hotel room, all covered by the man who loved her most. I didn't sleep that night. I stared at her peacefully sleeping beside me and felt disgusted. She wasn't the woman I married. She was a stranger wearing my wife's face. That's when I decided, if she wanted to live a lie, I'd let her drown in it. I started preparing my revenge quietly. I made copies of all the evidence. I moved half our savings into a private account and spoke to a lawyer. But before exposing her, I wanted her to reveal herself. So I acted normal. I kissed her goodbye each morning, wished her luck at work, and smiled while she texted her lover in front of me, thinking I was clueless. A week later, I told her I had to leave for a business trip, a 2-day conference out of town. In reality, I stayed in the city and waited. James followed her that night. As expected, she met her lover again, this time at our anniversary hotel. The irony made me sick. The next morning, I checked out of my hidden hotel and went straight to the one she was in. I walked into the lobby calmly, holding a folder full of evidence. I went straight to the reception desk and said, "Room 407, please." The clerk looked hesitant, but I gave her my ID, same last name as my wife. She nodded and handed me a key card. I opened the door, and there she was. Lily froze mid-laugh, wrapped in a robe, her boss beside her. The silence in that room was deafening. I didn't yell. I just placed the folder on the table and said, "This is everything you've been doing for months. Don't bother denying it." She started crying, stammering excuses. It didn't mean anything. I was confused. "I love you." I looked at her one last time and said, "No, you loved the version of me who didn't know. That man's gone." Then I handed her divorce papers and walked out. Within a week, her affair became public. Her lover's wife found out, his company got involved, and both of them were fired for violating workplace policy. Her dream job, her reputation, gone overnight. Months later, she came begging for forgiveness, saying she'd lost everything. I told her, "That's what happens when you gamble loyalty for lust. You lose more than you ever imagined." Now I'm free, not just from her lies, but from the illusion I once called love. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's silent, calculated, and delivered with the truth. If you liked the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.